Hi everyone, welcome to Smart Semester's Python programming playlist. In this video, we are going to learn about functions in Python. In Python, a function is a block of organized and reusable code that is used to perform a specific task. Instead of writing the same code multiple times, we can place that code inside a function and call it whenever needed. That is the use of functions. Functions support the dry principle. Dry stands for do not repeat yourself. This means we should avoid writing the same piece of code multiple times in a program. Instead, we write it once inside a function and reuse it whenever required. This reduces redundancy and makes the program cleaner. Then, how to define a function? The This is the syntax in Python how to define a function. It starts with def keyword. Def means we are defining a function. It starts with def keyword and function name, whatever the function name we want to create, and the parameters. These parameters are optional, meaning a function can accept inputs or it can be a simple function that has no inputs. So these parameters are optional. If single parameter exists, you define, let's suppose you want to pass a single parameter and that parameter is catched by a variable a. If you have multiple parameters, separate each parameter by comma. And if you don't have any parameters to be passed to this function, you can just use parentheses. That's it. It will be empty if no parameters are to be passed to that function, followed by a colon. Inside the function block, we write the statements that define what the function should do. And one more important, the entire body should have same indentation. If you don't know what is the purpose of indentation and how indentation is defined in Python, please watch out the video on indentation in the same playlist. So every statement which we place inside the function should be equally indented. After defining the function, we can call it whenever we want to execute those statements. And it has to be remembered that it won't run automatically. It has to be explicitly called. When we call that function, when we make a call to that function, then only the body of that function will get executed. Let's suppose we want to define a function called greet and it will print hi smart semester subscriber. This is the body of that function. It should print one statement. How we define a function? Def, let the function name be greet and it doesn't take any input, so empty parenthesis followed by colon. Inside the body of the, see here I am maintaining some space, it is nothing but indentation. Print hi smart semester subscriber. That's it. This is a small function. Whenever you want to print this statement, you just have to call that function like this. That's it. If you call it multiple times, the same print statement will get printed multiple times. If you want to call that function 10 times, you can write greet, greet, greet like this for 10 times. This statement will get printed 10 times because only this statement is present in the body of this greet function. In this way, a function is defined and it is called in Python. Now, let's think about something interesting. In languages like C, C++, or Java, every program starts execution from a main function. Correct, right? Every program execution starts from a main function. So the question is, does Python also have a main function? In Python, there is no explicitly defined main function like in many other programming languages. Python implicitly treats certain code as the main part of the program. Then, what is that certain code? All those statements which do not belong to any of the blocks or functions will be the part of main function. Here you can see this print statement is a part of this function, greet function. Then what are the statements which do not belong to any block or any function? These three statements, these do not belong to any block, do not belong to any function. So these will be the part of main. So main function will be here. We do not explicitly declare it or define it or create it. Python by default assumes body of the main function contains those statements which do not belong to any function or block. So main function will be created here, and Python treats these statements as body of the main function, and from here program execution starts take place. If we see in the memory point of view, let's say this is the main memory where the program is getting executed. Here it will be the main function. This is the stack frame. What we call it is, we call it as a stack frame of main function. Now this main function will call greet function. So for greet function, a separate stack is allocated on main memory. Now the control goes to greet function. What do greet function do? It just prints this statement, and the control come backs to the main function. Stack frame created for this greet function will get destroyed. Now again we move to the next statement of the main function. Next statement is greet statement. We are calling the function. Again stack frame is created like this. Control goes to here. This statement will get printed. Again control come backs from the stack frame of greet to the main function. The control flows forward, and then again greet function. In this way, till the last line of the main function is executed, the flow goes like this. Once we reach the last statement, our program will get terminated. Memory allocated to the main function will also get removed on the stack. If we look at types of functions available in Python, every function is broadly divided or can be categorized into one of these types: user defined functions, built in functions, lambda functions, and recursive functions. In the next video, we will discuss about user defined and built in functions in detail. When time arrives, we will discuss about lambda and recursive functions in detail. Thank you.